Emma, can I ask you first of all, Cara Ward, I know, is a good friend of yours. She worked with you during your Olympic medal-winning campaign. Tell me about how you helped her get the Ireland job.
Yeah. I think Carla helped herself get the Ireland job. As I've said many times, I'm here to support coaches within the game and pass on any experience, particularly when it comes to what it's like to coach at an international level. I don't have a lot of experience internationally, but at least shared some of the insights on how to structure the camps and your time in between camps. But Carla's sort of, her resume speaks for itself, and she created and carved out that opportunity all without my help.
Are you happy that you're going to play Ireland tomorrow without Katie McCabe, without Denise O'Sullivan, without Megan Campbell?
I don't think like that, to be honest with you. I focus on my own team, and my time and energy has been about improving what we've been doing all week, regardless of the opponent. Of course, they are all top players, but we too are without a lot of top players. So it evens out, but it's an opportunity for players that are given that time to play, and I'm looking forward to seeing our development in our style of play.
You've had several players making their debuts. It's been a little bit of a transitional period in the U.S. Women's National Team soccer. Still successful. Do you need a face of the U.S. Women's National Team, or is it just winning becomes the face of this group at this point? How do you see that with so many of the known players have now moved on?
I just believe in teams, so my job is to develop a team to win. It's not an individual sport, so for us, it's about putting together a collection of individuals that can collaborate together to perform at the highest level, and my interest is in creating standards and the right behaviours to be able to do that. Is there any more distractions around here today? Does anyone else want to have a go while you're at it? Move the goals while you're at it? I think it's the thing I'm least interested in because of that reason.
Emma, it hasn't been a clear, exact calendar year, but there is something poetic about being back here in Colorado a year-ish, and that's on from when you officially joined the team. I'm wondering if you can reflect on the journey, where you were when you first arrived, the timeline, the tournament that you had to prepare for, and now having more time, totally different approach, I imagine, to working with this team.
I mean, I don't know what a clear, exact schedule looks like, to be honest with you, and I don't believe in perfection. I think you can chase something like that, knowing that rarely, if ever, it comes. So, but what I do believe in is development, and I know as a developer of people, there is not a quick route to it. So when you have a team that, quite frankly, finished an Olympic gold medal game and hasn't played together since that day, it's a reminder that you have to develop a playing pool that's capable. And when you're facing top opponents across the world that have Champions League experience, they have Nations League experience, they have cap accumulation under 20, under 17. We have a lot of catching up to do, and to close that gap, our programme has been really clear, especially with the introduction of our under 23 programme. Now we're at the stage where we are determining the criteria for 2027 and what that looks like to put together to the team composition and the playing pool that will largely form that group going into 2027. And from October onwards, I would say that extended pool will be the group that we will build towards 2027 with.
Emma, outside of winning, how would you measure success in this camp?
Of this camp?
Yes.
I truthfully, I'm a coach first and foremost. So when I'm analysing our performances and I analyse us in relation to our game model, I'm always looking at what is our level of application to that. So I said last camp there were so many more players that understood the expectations both sides of the ball, Now it's like, well, what are the next steps? And we have to go deeper into that. So, for example, if we're teaching the team how to rotate in positions, why are we doing it? Who does it? When to do it? What's the difference between a numerical one versus a dynamic one, etc. So all the time it's just an evolution of what we're doing, and I think the players, the aim is to always create smaller gaps between top and bottom. And yes, we have less experienced players at this camp who have all proved themselves at a club level. As I tell a lot of the players this week, you know, there is a distinction. Club level, international class, world class. And it takes a lot to get into that category, not just getting into this level. You need a body of games at this level and a body of games playing in against the highest games, the highest level opponents again and again to determine if we are world class. But at the moment, I would say we're largely inexperienced and still learning with everything that we're looking to do. But this team is they are fast learners, they are willing, they have the confidence, they have my confidence, but they have the confidence to demonstrate what wearing this crest means on a regular basis. So I expect to see another step closer towards the best version of myself.
Emma, is there anything nostalgic for you being back in Colorado, considering, as she mentioned, it was here that you coached your first match for the US?
Yeah, everything. I have such fond memories of last year, with it being my first game. I was really nervous. I remember being in the tunnel, and I remember that this wall of staff banging the wall, ready to high-five the players coming out, and the roar of the sound, even just in that corridor. And then as the players walk out, just this dome, it felt like, with this incredible backdrop. And I felt like I was in a postcard, a hot postcard, because I remember how humid it was that day. And that was like quite a difference from coming from England to here. But I felt really nervous because I'd been with Chelsea for 12 years, and I was like, I don't know how the crowd are going to receive someone from the outside. And I so desperate to do well for the team, but I felt like the fans, they took me in immediately, and that gave me confidence on the touchline. And if my confidence is in a good place, I can be at my best for the team. And I just remember instantly thinking, oh my goodness, who's going to stop that front line in the world? And without knowing how the Olympics would pan out, I was just so hugely impressed with the quality of the players on show. And my biggest takeaway was, like, I'm always being told, well, in America, you know, they're good at these things, but not at that. And I remember coming out of that game going, no, these players are tactically good as well as technically good. Now let's see what next levels we can find.
Emma,
Go.
you mentioned earlier the development of the U23s, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering if, looking at the last windows, a pair of really strong matches against Germany, looking at players like Jordan Bug, Sam Meza, Lily Real, can you talk about what you saw maybe from that window in club or any other data points that earned them this invitation to the senior camp?
I think it should serve as a reminder that everything matters. So if you're going to the 23 camp, you know, we want you to perform, but not just there. We want you to perform at club too. And the combinations of those things are going to get you closer to the senior national team. So the players who have been called up have all impressed on both of those fronts over a short period of time. For someone like Jordan Bug, I don't know whether she will be a candidate for 2027, but she will be for 2028 and 2031. So a call up to WNT now, maybe a move back to 23s in October, ideally a World Cup for the under-20s next September. This is the type of individual player development you have to get right. The same as you know, a Sam Meza, who's come through youth programme, having a really good club year, really performed well with the under-23s. We'll get a chance to see her this cap, see where those gaps are, and maybe And for some, they'll go back into that. And those that have age grouped out of the 23s, I want to work to see if there are any opportunities for us to create situations for them. But everything is earned. And the beautiful thing about where we are is I stood on the field yesterday with our team and thought, we've got top quality out here. We've got top quality at home. And there's too many to name. We've got top quality on the field next to us who are watching and aspiring up. And we've got all of our players looking back and saying, gosh, I've got such great memories. But also our senior players talk about how important the under-23s programme is. They felt it was a missing gap for lots of them. But I feel like we're in a strong position to, I think, maybe have less gaps between age groups. That's what I found to be the biggest challenge. Like seniors, first year, second. I want to close that gap so it's a little more together. But I'm excited. Like, I'm excited for our programme. I feel like we're back on track. But I will urge caution with it. And I say that because I'm so respectful of what England and Spain and Germany and Brazil in particular are doing in the global game, that there is no gap between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the world, maybe a little bit bigger than that. So we have to make every moment count for us to put ourselves in the best place possible to compete.
Can I just ask you one quick question about playing at altitude, your observations to players, what effect it has on them and what effect it might have on players who haven't played at altitude before?
Well, I remember last year, and that was my first experience, and I'm much better off for it. And the importance of our hydration and the importance of our recovery pieces. We do this thing called the other 22 hours in our camps. And so we spent time with the team sharing all the best strategies to cope with altitude from a nutritional perspective, a hydration perspective, a cryo chamber perspective, oxygen tank perspective. We have all the support mechanisms to help the players with those things, and there will be no excuses from our perspectives, because that's what being a professional is. And I believe that our performance team have put in place the right things for our players and staff to be prepared for this game.
Thanks,
Last
Aaron.
one for right here, go ahead.
Kelly, Irish Independent,
Hey.
Dublin. I spoke to you last weekend.
Hey.
Just reflecting on your time, what have been the biggest challenges and maybe surprises of international football for you coming to club football? What have you learned most about yourself as a manager and in person as well?
Biggest challenges? Well, the federation is really big. It's a big organisation, so being able to communicate and align the messaging, joining up things in a certain way, I've found that a challenge. One I've enjoyed. I didn't realise the size of US soccer until I started working in it, but I've enjoyed getting to know the federation and the, how do I put it, the plan for US soccer as a whole, transitioning to Atlanta and everything that comes with that. I think that's a very, very exciting time. I have learnt that everything I did to get me to this point has readied me for it. If I'd have done it any sooner, I might not have been. And I really, that's a message I will always keep saying. I do think it's an older person's job for that reason, because you do have to manage this and everything that comes with it. And I think with that, I'm able to deliver a strategy with a group of people that surround me to I hope, continue to inspire, most importantly, and do those things. And I've really enjoyed being in that situation. And what was the last part?
Just what have you learned about yourself, maybe?
That I'm really happy. I'm really happy doing this job. I'm really happy working in international football with different, just seeing different opponents, different styles, different stadiums, different fans. I've learned that change is important. Sometimes it's hard when you're happy also, but in a job, though I was at Chelsea, but I'm finding another level to myself. I feel like I'm able to find another level in my coaching, because I'm surrounded by so much brilliance. I feel pushed, And I realised that to be a top performer, you've got to be pushed and you've got to be out of your comfort zone a little bit. But very, very excited. And I think the biggest thing I've learned is that the game is about players, and that I cannot express how fantastic this group of players are and how fantastic what fantastic learners they are. Because our job is we're in service to them. So to deliver a program for them, when I promise you, every time they come to camp, they're hungry to learn, they want to contribute, they want to give back, they respect everything that comes with the program, and I'm so thankful to be able to lead such fabulous people.